Hello 7th and 8th grade violas. This is Skill Builder 14. This week we're going to continue looking at a day at Disneyland starting at measure 113. We are so close to finishing this piece, so keep up your hard work. We have 2 more skill builders left and then we'll be able to play the whole piece from start to finish, which I am very excited for. Last week we briefly talked about the new time signature that starts at measure 109. It's called cut time. It's the C with a line through it. And I said that in high school we spend a lot of time learning about cut time, but that this week I would just briefly explain it a little bit more to you so you can understand how it works as we work through this section. So cut time, if you were to show the numbers to it, like how we have 3-4 or 2-4, cut time is 2-2. And we've broken down time signatures before, so we know that the top number means how many beats are in every measure. So there's 2 beats in every measure. The bottom number means what type of note gets the beat. So there's actually 2 half notes in every measure. Now, if you're really good at math, you might be thinking, hang on a second, 2 half notes is the same thing as 4 quarter notes, and you're absolutely right. And that's why these measures look very similar, or they actually look the same to how you might see a 4-4 measure. And we actually count cut time in a very similar way. Instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we count 1 and 2 and. And so it's just counting it in a little bit of a different way. It is easier to count it fast like that. There are other reasons why something might be in cut time versus 4-4, but the big thing that I want you to know as we're going through this is that all of these notes are going to feel the same as if you do them in 4-4. It's just going to be sped up a little bit. And so what we're actually going to do is learn this like it's in 4-4 and then switch over in our brains and say, okay, now I'm going to, instead of counting 4 beats, I'm going to count 1 and 2 and. And I think that transition should be not too bad for us at all. So you actually get 6 measures of rest starting at 113, and we just said there's 2 beats in every measure. So now instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, you're going to count 1 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 2 and all the way until you get to 6 and 2 and. And then you come in at measure 119. Now I'm going to play from 119 to 127 pretty slow, so I'm going to count it in 4. And before I do that, I just want you to catch any accidentals. I see in 126, we have a high 3 C sharp on G. And then at 127, it's marked as a C natural. They didn't have to mark that, but they were nice and did that to remind you, bring that third finger back to the regular spot. All of the other notes are notes that we know well. So here I go from 119. This is slow, much slower than the goal tempo, but I want us to get this under our fingers first. So 1, 2, here we go. Good, excellent. I had to get a little bit higher on my high 3 there. Make sure you really stretch to that C sharp. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. I'm going to continue going at measure 129. Just looking through for any accidentals. I see an F natural in 135. That's a low 2 on D. And then in 138, I see a B flat. Again, that's a low 2. At 139, it turns back into a B natural, a high 2, immediately followed by another low 2 B flat. And then in 140, you have a G sharp, which is a low 1 on G. So down like this. So you get some funky notes in this section, but everything else should be pretty easy for us. So here I go from 129. 1, 2, 3, 4. Low 2 B flat, high 2, low 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. And then at 143, we actually go back to being in 6-8, which we will deal with next time, okay? So that's everything counting it slow in 4/4. At the very least, when you come in next time, you should be able to play it at that tempo. So when you come in by the next day one, you should be able to confidently play it for me like that. Now I'm going to go a little bit faster. So still in counting it in 4, but I'm just going to go a little bit faster. And I'm actually going to play this whole section starting at 119. Okay? Here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and here we go. Really stretch here. 2, 3, 4, here's 129. Here's 137. Low 2, high 2, low 1. Excellent. All right, I'm going to speed it up one more time. This time it'll be much closer to our goal tempo, and I'm going to count it in 2. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And here we go from 119. If you're feeling like you want to listen to it once in the cut time, you feel free to listen and then go back and try to play it with me. Here I go from 119. 1 and 2 and ready, and here we go. 2 and 1 and 2 and. Low 2. All right, so that is where we all hope to end up. Again, I don't expect you by the next day one to be able to do it quite that fast, but if you're somewhere between that slowest tempo and the fastest tempo that I just went, somewhere in there, then we'll gradually together work up to the faster tempo. All right, so start by counting it in 4, and then once you're able to do it fast, you can switch to thinking 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. All right, so you have until the next day one to learn this, and then we'll do it together in class. I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in class.